Happy Friday, everyone. I'm sorry I'm a little late. My computer lost connection to my internet twice. I have a Wi-Fi adapter in my computer that failed, and because I'm always have a backup for everything, I have a little dongle that's like a Wi-Fi connection, and then that failed. Um, it's weird. It's like something wanted to prevent me from going on at 2 o'clock, but I'm here. And I think everyone can hear me. It looks like the microphone icon is working. Um, strange how things happen like that. But sometimes when we do our best, it's just not enough. It's not right. And that's okay. And you just got to think, yeah, I did my best. And just because it didn't work out right, um, it's okay. And then move forward from that. I was just thinking about that. A lot of times we do our best and people will judge us, they'll say things to us, and we'll feel bad because we want to do our best, and we kind of like feel like we failed. But when you do your best, you have to just let it go, move forward, and not beat yourself up just because they don't think you did the right thing or you did your best. As long as you know you did your best, you have to go forward from that. And that's one of the big things about life is, um, the worst person we can lie to is ourselves. Those who can lie to themselves can lie to everyone around them. That's what I learned a lot is that the biggest liars are the ones who lie to themselves first. And when they get good at lying to yourself, it makes it so easy to lie to everyone else. So, but when you are comfortable and you want to do the best at all times, and people come to you and critique, judge, say these horrible things to you that they might have not even intended. They might be constructive, but you did your best. Again, you move on. And I'm honestly, I was so flabbergasted when I'm ready. Up, we got 50 minutes. Everything's great. Half an hour before, 15 minutes before, everything's great. Everything's perfect. And then I look and it says no internet. I'm like, what do you mean, computer? Why am I internet? And I've had this issue before. My the Wi-Fi adapter in my computer has stopped working, and it's just a software issue. It's one of those things where because there's so much inside the laptop, things things fail. But it hasn't done it for about a month now, and then because of that, I always had the dongle because we had a dongle because my son has a tower that didn't have Wi-Fi adapter in it. So I've always had this dongle. So I said, oh, just grab the dongle, put the dongle in, everything's good. Then that failed, and then I was like, what the and everything's going, nothing's working. And I think to myself, no, just keep on going. We'll try again, put it into another port, move forward. And of course, it's working fine now. But I guess maybe that's the point about it is that I was not meant to be on at 2 o'clock, but I was meant on to come on a little later. And thank you all for coming. I appreciate all of you for being here. I spent 7 or maybe 3 minutes, whatever. Uh, just going off the sign. Thank you, Gogo. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Jackie J. Thank you, Cats09 Tails. Thank you, Laurie Elder Kid. You're here all the time. Thank you, Project Skyfall, and thank you, Truth Seeker. Truth Seeker, I've seen your comments, and a lot of times when you say these things, they really mean a lot to me. And I sometimes when I comment to what someone says, I don't think it's enough. Sometimes I respond what I think is best, and sometimes I'm like, how can I put that in a better way? Again, once you do your best at that moment, you have to move forward in life. You can keep going back over things and trying to make it perfect. And when we try to make things perfect, sometimes we just fall behind because life isn't about being perfect. Life isn't about just doing what you can at that moment and moving forward. Um, like when you a lot of times when you do self-realization, when you come to your aware. I don't want to say awake because awake's become a trigger word. So when you become aware and you become silent and you listen to yourself and you move forward in life, and you think about what brought you to these mistakes you've made in your life, and you think, oh, this is because my the upbringing I had, and you go in what your parents didn't give you the right guidance, whatever it is. But it's not about blaming. It's more about understanding where you were at that moment and moving forward. And you're not going to blame your parents for the mistakes they made because your parents are doing the best they can at that time. And it goes to that point is that you're not blaming your parents for the mistakes they made. You're stating what happened and it wasn't the best way, and you're going to rewrite that memory. And that's another thing is that I learned that these bad memories I've had in my life, as I remember them, as they come, especially in meditation when they come back, I don't have to accept them as is. Just because that happened doesn't mean I can't create a new memory and make it better and make a better outcome in life where I don't need to remember the bad pain, but I can remember a more positive memory. And then each time, because as I've read psychologically that there's a crime scene and there are 5 people at the crime scene. Each five each of the 5 people has a different perspective, a different view of that crime scene. They all saw a different thing. And sometimes the first person, the fifth person will see a totally different thing that happened. And that's how our memories work. Our memories do funny things. Every time we think about a memory, we rewrite it. So we might as well rewrite these memories for our benefit rather than for our pain. Because where are we are right now because of the experiences we had in the past. And they're done. Experiences of the past are done. And as we sit and these memories come back again, we might as well make them more positive because we can't live in the past. We have to live in a more positive now. You can't control the future. You can only control the now. You can't control what happened in the past. You can only control the now. And living in the now can be challenging because we think about the mistakes we've made in the past and we dwell on them. But we have to take those mistakes, learn from them, and go forward rather than continuing to stay in those mistakes. Um, but that's just my perspective. I had a lot of preparation, but you know, when 2 o'clock happened, I freaked out and spread everything around, and it was going. So it's all good. It's all peaceful. You're all here. Every single one of you who are here, I appreciate you all. There are 7 of you. Wow. I actually wrote an email to Wayne yesterday saying, "Hey, you're not going to be on. Do you mind if I come on at your time zone? Your slot, and just bring positivity to people." And I thought I was just going to read an affirmation, be positive. I didn't know I'd be, life lesson to help, maybe help someone else. Because sometimes we get everything prepared perfectly. We're all ready. We're ready to go on, and then something happens and just throws a monkey wrench into the situation, into the clockwork, and everything you had prepared goes out the window. So let me say, everyone watching this video, I offer you each 59 doses of happiness. And I think that your life, with all of you, each and every one of you, your lives will be full of fun loving, joyful, happy, carefree, peaceful, compassionate people into your life. And everyone who chooses not to be happy or cannot be happy will stay far away from you for the next 7 days. Everyone you meet for the next 7 days will be joyful, carefree, peaceful, and compassionate. Everyone near you interact with will treat each other with dignity and respect, and each person you work with will treat themselves with dignity and respect. It is done. It is done. It is done. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And you will be able to spread 59 doses of happiness to everyone you interact with without any interaction, without taking any of your happiness away. It's just going to replicate and spread out. Because happiness, when you give happiness and compassion to other people, it takes no happiness and compassion from yourself because it just replicates it. So you spread happiness to other people. It takes nothing from you. You give happiness to them, and it comes back to you. That's the one thing about compassion and happiness. Love can have its negativity to it because you're going to have the obligation to, I love someone, so I have to do something for them. But compassion is just from pure. Compassion always pure. So you do a compassionate thing, and just out of your true heart. You don't feel any obligation. You do it for compassion. While love sometimes has a little connection with obligation to it. So just compassionate love, unconditional love. These are all great things. And that's the funny thing is that some languages had more than one word for love. Brotherly love, family love, friendship love. But that love of God, love of objects, but that compassionate love goes everywhere for everything, and there's no attachment to it. It should just move forward, and that's good. And may everyone who watches this video, may you wake up every day with the weight of the world being light. May your days be full of laughter, abundance of joy, and unconditional love. And may kind people come into your life who offer you compassionate energy. And may you touch each other's peace, grace, favor, and love, compassionate love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done, is done, is done. And I myself, I want to spread as much positivity around me, even the people who try to bring me down. That's the funny thing is that you'll meet people and you'll say a positive thing, you'll try to bring them up, and they want to be down and everything. And you have to learn to stop. If someone doesn't want to be happy, if someone wants to live in their misery, it's not your place to take them out of it unless they're ready, until they're ready. When someone is ready to come out of their misery, come out of their anger, then you can go to act. But if you offer a branch of happiness and compassion and peace and maybe even a solution and they don't want it, your obligation you have no obligation. You also cannot go into them and try to bring them up if they don't want to. It's kind of selfish. That's a hard thing to say is that sometimes we want to help other people for selfish reasons because we don't want to have them bring us down. So we want to help other people to help bring us up because they're going to bring us down. And at which point, if people don't want to be happy, if they want to be miserable, if they want to be angry, it's not selfish to walk away. It's not selfish to cut ties at that moment. When they're ready, then you can come back. But at that point, when they're not ready to be happy, um, continuing to try to push them to be happy is selfish, while walking away is not selfish. It's so complicated in life, and I'm saying a lot of these things that I say. And a big important thing about the advice we give to others, it's for ourselves. We have to listen to ourselves because that happens to me a lot. Well, I'm always trying to help other people. I want to bring them to positivity. I want to bring them and help fix them. I want to help give them solutions. But if someone's not ready for solutions, you can't give it to them. You can't force it on them. Um, but when people are ready for solutions, then you can act. I have to remember that more because it happens a lot in my own job when I am I see the problem and I bring it to someone's attention, and either the department or the people or individual aren't willing to accept it. My place is for me, is to write it down in an email saying, okay, I saw this, and from my perspective, this is best. Do what you want with it. And then at that point, I cut ties with it. They come to me and they want more information. Okay, yes. But if they don't come to me and want more information, I leave it at that. I put it in an email only because word of mouth is no good in this, in life. Because when you tell someone something, it comes in one ear and goes out the other, and then they might remember it from their own perspective. Again, memory is plastic, memory is clay, memory can be molded, but an email written black and white, that is a solid thing that someone can go back to and look at, or several people can go back and look at. Or that person might see it and they could send it to someone else just by forwarding it. So that's a great thing about emails. Living in the electronic age is a burden sometimes, but that one thing about having an email, having a carbon copy where someone could just forward your email or forward your text message, what you said, again, you know, them reading it, the person, whoever reads it from their perspective, they might say something different. But what you said right there, you'll be able to convey to everyone who looks at it exactly what you said, word for word. I wanted to say Wayne's things. I'm 20 minutes in. Whatever. No one else wanted to be on, so I'm going to use my moment in the light. And here's something that I say every day. One of the things that Wayne showed us from MLA Coulier, every day in every way, things are getting better and better. Every day in every way, things are getting better and better. Every day in every way, things are getting better and better. I also change it to every day in every way, my life is getting better and better. And you say it 20 times. I know 20 times seems like a lot, but it doesn't take more than a couple minutes. And if you say your version of it, Wayne had something every day in every way, gifts, good things are coming our way to me, my home, and my family. That's what I added. I added to this. Everything I write down, I add to it. Every day and every way, gifts, good things are coming my way. That's what he said. Every day and every way, gifts and good things are coming my way. You say that 20 times whenever you get stressed and you get frustrated. It does fix things. It doesn't fix it perfectly, but it puts you in a better mindset. And even though you can't fix the problem that's right in front of you, when you change your perspective, when you come to a more positive mindset, it makes things better. New Yoda. Hello, New Yoda. You're new. Miss B. Mrs. B. Hello, Mrs. B. I think that's everyone. Oh, wow. People just keep coming in. Yeah, I'm just trying to spread. Oh, Grace. Hello, Grace. Hasapaki. Grace Hasapaki. Hello, Grace Hasapaki. Uh, it's good seeing you all here. I really do want to bring positivity to everyone. And Wayne has taught me a lot. Sometimes Wayne has frustrated me because he's come up with things. Like when, he asks about God, about the devil never killed anyone, and God has killed, and had people kill each other, and those kind of things. And um, yeah, it frustrates me because life is a tiny section of our spiritual being. And he doesn't believe in reincarnation, or he does believe in reincarnation. It keeps changing, sometimes. But a lot of times that, when I've learned from Wayne and I learned from myself. Oh, Danny Stanton. Hello, Danny Stanton. I learned for myself that a lot of times the questions we ask and want answers from other people. And for Wayne, when he asks questions, he wants answers from other people. It's really question answers that you need from your higher self. You're not asking other people to answer those questions. You're subconsciously asking your higher self to answer those questions for you, and hopefully find it in yourself and help yourself answer those questions. That's a tough lesson. And sometimes when someone asks a question and you give them the answer that the question they ask, you give them the answer you think is the perfect answer, and then they say, "Well, no one answers this question," and you say, "Oh no, I've answered it several times. I mean, in several ways," and and you have to stop and just the answers you give to other people aren't right for that moment. It's okay. You've given it to them. And for you, when you ask other people and you don't get the right answer, it's okay because you might not need it at this moment. It might be part of your growth. And the same question might be coming up in your life. And this happens to me a lot. That the same things, same situations, the same questions keep coming up. And it's not because I'm not learning the lesson, it's that I need to learn the lesson in a different way. Uh, my biggest thing is through my career, the same kind of a-hole boss will pop up in my life, whether it's a different department or it's my department or it's a different above me. And I think to myself, why do I keep running into the same kind of boss? It's because there's a lesson in there that I might have learned in one way, but I got to learn again in another way. And these people, these same kind of people, will keep coming back into our life. Like we're in a sitcom, or we're in a TV show. Let's say we're in a TV show. Each one of us in our lives, we're in a TV show, and the same character will return, but in a different actor will be playing that character, and they'll keep coming up in our lives, and we'll think to ourselves, why does this keep happening to me? Why does the same situation keep happening to me? Why do the same people come into our lives? Because we're not learning that lesson. And that's good. That's fine. When we're aware of that, we'll take that lesson and hopefully learn it in a different way. And we might be learning the same lesson over and over again. We might be doing the right thing over and over again, but we need to learn in a different way. And we can't just keep, you know, focusing on that same theme keeps repeating in our lives. We have to move forward and go, what can I learn from this? And that's just, what can I learn from this? Keep saying that to yourself. You're like, but I did everything right. Why does it keep coming back? Let it go and just take it and go, okay, I'm going to learn something from this. And another important thing is that I keep quotes. As I, in my channel, I have my shorts and I have my quotes. And those quotes are meaningful to me at that moment. And I try to, take that 1 minute to try to say something. And sometimes I just say the quote and go move forward, because sometimes I need the quote and I want others to see that quote and hopefully come back with something that they might have something from it, and might be I can get information from them, because different perspectives really provide you more benefit. And also, reading the same thing from at a different time point, you're getting a new perspective, because then you can say, "Oh, that old you, their perspective, and that new you, your new perspective." You really provide a lot of information to yourself by seeing the same thing from different perspectives. And here's a important thing, is that never take criticism from someone who would not take their own advice. Those who would never take their own advice, you can't trust them. And you got to remember that the advice from someone, and you think to yourselves, oh, they have great advice. You have to stop and think, would they take their own advice? And even though they're adamant that this, but you look and you see in their life, and they never do that for themselves. It's tough, but you have to realize and cut and say, okay, that person, they're a great person. I love them. I have compassion. They've always provided me what I think is great advice, but they don't take their own advice. I can't trust them. And hello, Gutam Banam Val here. I think you're from the Philippines. Welcome. Uh, yeah. So the best advice I've been given: don't take criticism for people who would never go for that advice. It's very, very important that never take advice from someone who doesn't know the subject. Never take advice from someone who would never take their own advice. And that's another thing, is that we accept criticism from people who have no idea what the subject is. They'll give us advice, and from their point of view, and then you'll think to yourself, do they really understand the subject that they're talking about? And you're going to stop. Oh, from India. Go to vlogs from India. Wow, it must be late there. It must be at least 7. No, it's not. It's the early night. Welcome. And I think for all that I have and all that I receive, that's important, that you have to accept everything you have, and accept what you have right now is good enough. Um, we're always searching for bigger and better. And oftentimes we have everything we need just right next to us. But we live in this, world where, you know, instant gratification, and I need everything now, and Amazon will deliver it hours, sometimes days. Although sometimes Amazon's saying we need a week or so to deliver it, but that's something different. We're conditioned to get things instant gratification, but oftentimes, I believe 95% of the time, we have everything we need right now. Um, we just have to just look and see, open our eyes, gain perspective. And another thing, we have to appreciate for who I am, or who we are. I appreciate for what I am and what I will become. You have to appreciate yourself for who you are right now. And sometimes we want to better and better ourselves, but oftentimes we are perfect just how we are. We have to appreciate ourselves for who we are. And we can strive to be better, but it's more important to appreciate for who we are right now to be better. And that's great. You have to appreciate who you are, what you are, and just be good to yourself, because a lot of times, we're seeking uh, compassion from other people. We're seeking uh, feedback from other people. We're seeking everything from other people. But most important thing is who we are, accepting it from ourselves, appreciate for us, loving ourselves. Loving ourselves for some reason is hard. It's hard to take ourselves first. And again, you don't take yourself first at the expense of others. You're not a narcissist. You're taking yourself first for the benefit of others, because when we are taking ourselves first, when we are at our best self, we can at that point help others effectively and efficiently. When we aren't at our best selves, when we aren't treating ourselves first, when we help other people, we're not going to give the best advice. We're not going to do the best things because we're not our best self. That's it. So take yourself first and then help other people. Don't sacrifice yourself, because when you sacrifice yourself, why are you doing that? You're not helping anybody else. You think it's for the betterment of other people, but when you sacrifice, you're just pulling yourself down and pulling them down while you're doing it. Oh yeah, no weapon of any kind shall harm me. No will ever prosper. Every No weapon of any kind shall harm me. Every action, every deed, every word that was meant to harm me will be my benefit. Arwain had said that, and I had written that down, but it's here. But um, he says a lot of important things, and I appreciate Wayne for that. And also, he says things that challenge me, and that's an important thing. When Wayne says something that challenges you, and it might even offend you, uh, you have to look in that and say, why is this bothering me? Why is this coming to me? And it's something in you that you have to address. Sometimes you respond to Wayne with a comment, and other people will come and they'll take the whole wrong perspective of your comment, and you have to just let it go and just let your comment be, because every comment on Wayne's channel, no matter how crazy it might be, is good for Wayne. uh, Likes and comments will help spread Wayne's words. And our Wayne Steiger's words are important. No matter what happens, the more we interact with his videos, the more it'll spread to YouTube. And I think YouTube's realizing, because some of our stuff's spreading. And some of my videos, my shorts, some will get like 11 views, some will get like a couple of views. A couple of days ago, one got 15,000 views in the course of an hour. And like, what happened here? What 15 views yesterday, of the 24 hours, 15 views. Another one got 15,000 views, and you think to yourself, what's going on? I'm thankful for it happening. That's it. Every video I put out there is not for me to get more subscribers or get feedback. Actually, it's just spread positivity to help others be more positive, because that's all I really want. I do my YouTube channel not to be popular, but to hopefully get information and spread to other people and get feedback from other people, only to understand, and so we can all grow together. And that's what we need in this world, is all growing together. Uh, Growing together is all we have in life. Growing together is all, at the end of the day, at the end of our life, all the things we collected, all our objects, all of our possessions mean nothing. But all the interactions we had with other people, everything we've learned, everything we've taught, after we die, that's what we are. And what I'm saying right now is something that's just coming to me. But Wayne has said that when you go, when you die, and you come to judgment, And who is God to judge me? Is God human? All this doesn't matter because when we die, when we pass on, that last moment, we're judging ourselves. And we're not judging ourselves from a critical, we're judging ourselves from what have we learned from this life? What are our interactions? What has happened in this life? What do you want to do after? Some people say this is like a download. I'm getting information that, something things I've been struggling for a long time is what is life? What are we doing here? Why do I have to go through this pain? The pain is it hurts, but it teaches us. Why do people? My wife has cancer, and we're progressing through it. Why does my wife have cancer? It's just about growing. It's about living our lives, and this 50 years that I've had, and it might be 70 years, it might be 100 years, and my whole spirit itself, it's going to be a glimpse of my reality because I'm an immortal being. And that's the big thing about why do we only live a short time? Because physical life isn't meant to be long. We're meant to learn our lessons. I mean, people who live a long time in their hundreds, some are just, it's been painful. They've got 100 years of pain. They've gone through all this stuff. Other people who are happy, they're living to 110 and they're joyful. But again, it's all from perspective. I mean, there are people who drink and smoke and they live well past 100. Other people are drinking and smoking and, there are people who do everything right and they die young, have a heart attack. And you're like, well, why would people die young? They completed their journey. Why do people live so long? Well, they have more to do. But, life is not about, you know, the extent of about how long it is. It's all about the journey. That's important. That's really important that life is all about the journey. Um, some of my tangents, let's I got plenty of time. Um, we're living our lives, and some of my best trips with friends wasn't about where we ended at the end. Hello, Chris Francisco. It was about our, our path to there. I love going to Quebec City. My friends used to go 90s and early 2000s. Used to go to Quebec City a lot, and we go a few times a year because I live in New England, so it's an 8-hour trip. And I've had phenomenal trips with my friends. I've had terrible trips with my friends. But the funny thing is, when we went in a car together to save gas, to save a little bit of money, when we went together, the journey from home to Quebec City, our time in Quebec City, and our time back was all about the journey from home to Quebec City was enjoyable. And what made Quebec City great was about the time to get there and the time to go there and go home. Sometimes the worst part of a vacation is, on the way driving home, or it seems longer to go home. It's all matter. You have to enjoy the journey, and that's what life is. You start your journey. You're starting at home. You're born, and you go into your destination. And you have to enjoy it along the way. And sometimes some journeys suck. When you're going, shit happens. The car breaks down, or you have a bad meal along the way, or rainstorm, storm. You get detour traffic, all these things. But if you're enjoying the moment, especially if you're driving and you get into traffic, you can enjoy the moment. You can listen to music, and if you're enjoying it, or if you're so focused on I'm going to be late, oh, this is everything. My plans are ruined, and it ruins the journey. So life is about trying to, no matter what bullshit happens in your life, whatever what tragedies happened, you have to refocus and try to enjoy for the moment. And life, the length of life isn't important as much as what to enjoy while you're here. If you live, you know, into your teens or you live into your hundreds, it's the same life as long as you're enjoying it, doing good things. It's all that really matters. And I never expected to go this direction. I was just going to say a few affirmations and move from there. But I guess it's important. Sometimes you just got to have a conversation with yourself. That's the great thing about these videos I make. A lot of times I have a plan to go. I have a journey to do. And but while going there, while teaching or while reciting, while reading this stuff, I'm learning about myself by trying to teach others. About my when I have videos with Robert or with Courtney, we have a theme, we have a plan to go through it. But sometimes while going through the video or recording it, we learn new things just by have my theme that me and Robert, we and Courtney talk about what we're going to do. But when we're doing the video, things change, and you know we have to go with it and learn from that, and that's what life is all about. And let me just favorite declaration. I want to read the favorite declaration. This is something that I learned so much. I want to do Loretta Enigmas, but I don't have that because I say this every day, and I have 7 different versions of it. Because that's weird how I am. I like saying different things and seeing the same thing in different ways. But here's the favorite declaration. I want to read it and go from there. All these favors will work with me as I voice them. Favors with me in everything I undertake. Favors with me everywhere I go. Favor allows us to prosper in the most positive, happy, healthy, beneficial way for me. Favor allows everything I set both my hands to prosper twice as quickly, with the potential of prospering twice as much in the most healthy, positive, beneficial, loving way for me. Favors with me in the city, favors with me in the country, favors with me in the dark, favors with me in the light. This is important. Favor is with us at all times, but we have to be open to it. That's the big thing about life is that a lot of the positivity, a lot of the help, a lot of the angels, a lot of God is there, but we have to ask for that help and be open to it and receptive. And sometimes when we're focused so much on the pain or the problems or the trouble, we aren't focused on accepting and receiving. We keep pushing. I got to get to. It's like I want to fix this. I want to fix this, but saying I am happy and I'm receptive to whatever happens. Um, Favors with me at home, favors with me at work, favor walks with me as I come in, favor walks with me as I go out. Favor heals my body as I speak favor into my body. Favor heals my eyes to see clearly. Favor heals my ears to hear clearly. Favor heals my mind to think clearly. Favor heals my body into ideal perfection. Favor helps me to see with compassion. Favor helps me to hear with compassion. Favor helps me to think with compassion. Favor helps me to speak with compassion. Favor helps me to live in the most compassionate life possible. And for me, that's important that being compassionate helps make things easier in my life. And being able to see and hear and think and treat others with compassion has improved my life. Favor protects my children. Favor protects my friends. Favor protects everyone who is close to my heart. Favor protects the soul tribe. Favor watches over everyone who are close to my heart. Favor envelops me in total safety. Favor fills my home. Favor fills my car. Favor fills my work. Favor is available for me everywhere I am. Again, I just have to be receptive to it. Sometimes we're not, and we have to stop ourselves and become receptive to it. Favor grants my grounds abundance of unending joy. Joy is all around us. We just have to learn to accept it. Favor fills my pantry with abundance of food. Favor fills my pantry with abundance of liquid nutrition. Favor fills my life with nourishment. Again, uh, we're in a world of lack, but it's available. It will pop up. One of the things is I learned about sometimes you go in the grocery store and what you want food wise, fruits and vegetables are not there. They're just gone. They're just gone. And we think to ourselves, what happens if this gets worse? There's food all around us but we don't know anything about it. They're the weeds that we call weeds. A lot of them are edible, and there's abundance everywhere, but we have to be receptive to it. We have to be open to it. Dandelion. I learned a long time ago that dandelions are important. There's a time when I had a beautiful manicured lawn, backyard, beautiful manicured backyard. Don't have that now, but that's the point. Uh, I used to put stuff down for my lawn to have a beautiful green lawn, but I learned that fighting the dandelions was an unending battle. And then later, I realized I want these dandelions. And the funniest thing about my lawns, again, this is my show. I can do anything I want, right? Uh, I was want the dandelions. I wanted to cultivate the thing. I wanted the dandelions to grow because I was using them. So I was not doing any chemicals on my lawn. My back lawn, no more chemicals. Live it 2, 3 years, and then I wanted dandelions. And the funniest thing I found was when I wanted the dandelions, when I wanted the edible violets, when I wanted the things, the weeds that to grow that are edible, so that I could use them. They weren't growing as well as the damn neighbor who was doing all this stuff. They had a problem. They had a bloom of dandelions, and they said to me, "You don't have very many dandelions. My lawn is covered with dandelions. You don't even manicure your lawn. Why is that?" And I'm like, "I have no idea." And it really seems to be that the people who fight so hard, their lawns are full of the dandelions that I would love to have. And that's a funny thing about life. And I don't know what that lesson is. I don't know why the dandelions that I want aren't growing, but the dandelions that they don't want are growing. And of course, I can't eat I can't go over and take their dandelions because they're treating their lawn. That neighbor who's treating their lawn so much and they're growing and they're fighting the dandelions, those dandelions are poisonous. They're toxic. But the mine, who I cultivate, and I do the good thing where I'll leave leaves, the fall leaves. I don't rake them up. I don't want to rake them up. I leave them, and that's some people find that an eyesore. But actually, it's a beneficial thing where if I let the lawn keep its leaves up until early summer, and then I use the lawnmower, the mulching mower, and mow over those leaves, my lawn and the weeds that I want flourish. Um, while the person who did rake all their leaves up late in the summer, their lawn is all dried up and surfing. They're putting their chemicals down about the fertilizer and everything. But me, I do very little, and I got a much better lawn. It's different, beautiful growth. But sometimes the harder we try, the more obstacles come in our life. Sometimes the less we try, um, what we see is less obstacles from other people. But them, they no, I kind of want these obstacles that what you think as obstacles. Uh, are benefits to me. But that's the funny thing about life is perspective. Sometimes obstacles for one person are actually benefits to others. But I digressed. Uh, Favor fills my life with peace of prosperity. Favor overfills my food. Favor overflows my liquid nutrition. Favor compels all my enemies to always seek peace with me. And I always seek peace with my enemies. So those who could be classified as enemies, I will seek peace with them and I will make them my friend. That's a challenge. That's something that I just realized. Every time I read this, favor compels all my enemies to always seek peace with me. Why do I need to seek peace with enemies? Why can't I make friends with everybody? Okay, let me go over this. If people see themselves as my enemy, that doesn't mean that I have to see them as my enemy. One thing I learned is that in my life, because I'm an empath, I've had people in my friend group, people come into our friend group and them not liking me, them having problems with me. And I want to be liked. So I would fight and I was try to, do good things and try to impress them. And, you know, but it doesn't work. I learned quickly that if people do not like me at first glance, I have to let it go because their true colors will show up. Even a person who appears as a great, loving, compassionate person, when they first meet me and there's a little bit of strife, I gotta let it go because it's gonna indicate in a very short time that they are not what they appear, and I have to let it go because it's not for me to prove myself how great I am to them and prove to the other people. Why? Oh, no, wait, why do they not like me? It's not my job. My job is to just let them be themselves and prove themselves and not fight them. So, favor compels all my enemies to always seek peace with me. More should be favor compels all my enemies to work towards becoming my friend. This is I've been reading this for years and maybe and I never got this perspective. Favor compels everyone I interact with to always maintain peace with me. That's important. That I always want to maintain peace with everyone I interact with. Favor encloses my barns. Favor fills my storehouses. Favor provides safety to all my possessions. Favor ensures all my possessions always prosper. And here's something that I find very important. Favor preserves all my material property to last longer and work as new unless and until a new or higher value replacement is already in my possession. I don't need new things. I just need the things that I have to work the best they can. I don't need to impress anyone with my possessions. I have a 2004 Subaru Forester. I love that car, and it does weird things. I turn on the air conditioner, and it'll squeak for about 20 seconds, and drives my wife crazy. And she says, "Why is it squealing?" Just wait, and it just happens. It just every time. But I've had the mechanic check it over, and they say it's fine. It just makes that sound, and we don't know why. It's the belts needing a little bit. We replaced the belts, and it's still you know 10 20 seconds it squeals. But the air conditioner works as new. It works. It squeals for 20 seconds, but it's still and then I can drive for an hour afterwards and never squeals again. Full air conditioner, and it's nice cool air coming out. So I have an old object. It's almost, oh my God, it's like 18-year-old car. No, no. Well, 16 minus 2. Wow. I don't know. My math is off a little bit, but I have an older car and I don't care if it's not new. I don't need a new Subaru. I just need my Subaru. And I want everything that I have to be preserved. For the longest time, I have a new computer now that I just, bought this year. I had an old computer that I was using for years and used to drive my wife and my son crazy. But it worked fine. It still works fine. But it's slow as hell, and that's one of the problems. If I wanna do the streaming, I can't do streaming on that computer, but I can watch videos and I can do stuff, and, I have to make sure there's not too many programs running. But the most important thing is that favor preserves all my material property, and it be replaced when it needs to be replaced, and I already have the new thing or the thing have equal or greater value already in my possession. I don't need new things, but I need something that works as good. Favor protects all my possessions. Favor protects all my property. Favor protects my home. Favor keeps all my possessions in total safety. Favor keeps my property in total safety. Favor protects me. Favor protects my offspring. Favor protects the soul tribe. Favor protects everyone who are close to my heart. Favor keeps me in total safety. Favor keeps my soul tribe in total safety. Favor fills my home. Favor keeps my home total safety. Favor keeps my offspring in total safety. Favor leads me to discover good fortune in all things. Favor leads me to discover good fortune everywhere. Favor leads me to discover good fortune at all times. Good fortune is everywhere. We just have to be aware of it. We have to open our eyes to it. And that's important that we have to be aware of it and look to it and just be available and know it's there and see it. And favor will lead us to it when we are open to it, when we are willing to receive it. Favor caused me to come on top. Favor caused me always to be above. Favor gives me favor with the elements. Favor generates a favorable atmosphere between me and everyone I interact with. Favor initiates peace between me and all physical beings. Favor initiates peace between me and all spiritual beings. I am favored by the spiritual realm. I am favored by the physical realm. Here's an important thing. Favor supports those who help me accomplish my goals. Favor supports those who assist me in moving towards completion of my projects. For me, that's a challenge to accept help from other people. But I need to accept help from other people so they can get favor in their lives. That gives me the option so that I can accept more help from other people. I'm a very self sufficient individual. I'm a very shy, introverted individual. Why am I doing YouTube? I don't know. But I am very self sufficient. I like to do things myself. But to help other people, we have to learn to take assistance from them. We have to learn to use their benefits to improve ourselves, to work toward together to accomplish our goals. Because sometimes that we think that we can do this by ourselves, fine. We probably can do it better by ourselves. But when we work with other people, we get new perspectives, we get new enlightenment, we get new aspects, not just with this project, but with future projects. And sometimes working with other people, it might be slower. It might not give us the right results in the end, but it's important to help us grow in different new ways. Again, this is not what I was expecting to talk about, but it's good. Everyone in all dimensions see me with great favor. Favor seeks me out. Favor finds me effortlessly. Favor helps me turn every obstacle into a great opportunity. That's another thing. The obstacles in our lives are there to teach us, and they suck. Having the obstacle at that moment sucks, but it teaches us as long as we use those obstacles to teach us to, was it steel, sharpen steel? Sometimes, in order for us to be better, we have to go through these obstacles. Favor allows me to see the true potential of each opportunity in my path. Favor ensures I know how to optimally use each of the tools in my arsenal to use each opportunity, every obstacle, in the most effective, efficient way to teach me and teach those around me. Because sometimes those obstacles in our life aren't obstacles for us, but to help us teach other people. And I never thought of that. And this has been stated in my own words: to go out in the world to produce benefit for me and everyone close to my heart. What is said is now done. That's another point. After every affirmation, you have to let it known that it's going to bring you only positive results. Um, because when I ask for abundance, if I don't make it clear, sometimes there'll be abundance of shitty things if you don't ask the right way. Because source only knows you asked a question, I'll give it to you. If you're not specific, I'm going to do it the best I can, because source is just energy. It does what it can. Chris Francisco, hello, Chris Francisco. Wow, I've almost got a whole hour. Okay, let me just finish up with this. The modern rewriting of 42 ideals of Mott. I honor virtue. I benefit with gratitude. I am peaceful. I respect the property of others. I affirm that all life is sacred. I give offerings that are genuine. I give offers that are genuine. I live in truth. I regard all altars with respect. Just because you don't understand someone else's religion, just because you don't understand someone's perspective, doesn't mean you can't honor them. I speak with sincerity. I consume only my fair share. You don't need to take more than you need. Just take what you need, especially now, this time, this life right now. Only consume your fair share. I offer words of good intent. That's always important. I relate in peace. I honor animals with reverence. I can be trusted. I care for Mother Earth. I keep my own counsel. I speak positively of others. This is challenging. Speaking positively of others is challenging, especially when there are people who are less than beneficial in your life. But if you can bring yourself to not speak negatively of others, but to speak positively of the others, doesn't mean you have to allow them to shit on you. I'm sorry. But still, find the benefit in each person, because everyone has something to bring to the table. Find that, bring that out in them. and then move forward. Even the worst person in your life can be beneficial in some way. Sometimes it's by their absence, but um, try to speak positively of everybody when you can. It might not be the best, and don't lie, but speak positively when you can. I remain in balance with my emotions. Sometimes this time in life, being positive all the time, being in tune with your emotions is tough, but I'm in balance with my emotion. And sometimes being in balance means not being always happy, not, because just being in balance. Um, I'm truthful in my relationships. I'm truthful to myself. I hold purity in high esteem. I spread joy. I do the best that I can. That's important. When you do your best and it's not good enough for others, let it go. It doesn't matter. You've done your best. Walk forward. If they don't appreciate it, okay. I'm sorry it's not good enough for you, and let it go. I communicate with compassion. Very important. I listen to opposing opinions. You can listen to every opposing opinion and not let it affect you. It's very important to listen to opposing opinions. And if someone has an opposing opinion and you don't like it, it's your problem, not theirs. You don't have to prove why they're mistaken. You could have a conversation and share your opinion. If they don't want to accept it, you don't have to go any further. You don't go any further. If you have a person that you disagree with, you have a conversation and you state your point and they disagree and they don't want to hear anymore, you stop. But what you disagree with, what you don't like, you have to go back into yourself and say, why does this bother me? Let me look into it. Does this challenge my beliefs? Do I need to modify my belief system? So listening to opposing opinions doesn't mean you have to change your opinion, but it does mean you have to listen and accept it and think, how can I how can I make it better? I create harmony. I invoke laughter. I am open to love in various forms. Doesn't mean you have to accept, that kind of love with yourself, but you accept that they can have the love that they want to express as long as it's not hurting other people. For some reason, my brain is going towards people who pedophilia. No, absolutely not. That I don't have to accept, um, because you accept love between two different people, that they appreciate each other, that they have their love. But pedophilia, there's nothing about that. You don't have to accept that. That's another thing. I accept loves in various forms. There are some loves, bestiality and pedophilia, those things are not acceptable. But you accept people to express love in their way as long as they're two rational people, fully developed. That kind of love. If you're a heterosexual, you can accept homosexuality. You can accept transvestite. I can accept transvestites as they are and let them live their life and be happy for everyone. But for some reason, I'm going into it's the sports where men who get the sex change and do the chemicals and they're competing as women, and y- I don't think we have to accept that because um, they wanted to have a sex change. I accept that. They want to do through chemical castration as adults, not as children, but as adults. They want to do this. I accept that. But that doesn't mean we have to accept them to they don't have to be acceptable into sports. If someone wants to go through that change, a man wants to become a woman, they have to compete as a man because they were born as a man, and that's the brain that's the logical to me. Why am I doing this? I don't know. I am forgiving always. I forgive everyone, and you don't forgive for the other person. You forgive to let that burden off yourself. I am kind. I am respectful of others. I am accepting. I follow my inner guidance. I converse with awareness. I do good. I give blessings. I keep the waters pure. I speak with good intent. I praise the God. I praise the goddess. I praise the God and goddess of any kind. I am humble. Being humble is important. I achieve with integrity. Always been integrity is very important. I advance through my own abilities. A lot of people like to advance on the backs of others, using others as as expensive, just on the bodies of others. No, I advance through my own abilities. I advance through myself. I embrace the all. Very important. All this is very important. And I have not read the comments very well. I'm basically just going and not reading the comments. Thank you everyone for being here. I really appreciate you all for being here, and it's good. I did a full hour, and I thought I was only going to do 15 minutes, but I guess if this had worked out perfectly, I would have only done 15 minutes. But I was so focused at the beginning when the shit hit the fan, when I was ready to go live, and my computer just stopped. My Wi-Fi just stopped. It really, but it's always important just to look at your life, be introspective, accept others as they are, accept yourself and who you are. Stop fighting life. Things just gonna happen. It's good. I mean, we live in a good life. We do have a good life, no matter what appears around you. I One of my people on that I see, they were commenting that during the Great Depression, there were many millionaires made from the Great Depression, because they used that moment of pain. These millionaires advanced and made millions by helping others, not at the expense of others. But uh, at any moment, no matter what's happening, there can be good things happening. I mean, during the Holocaust, horrible things were happening, people getting murdered. But there were people who were helping other people, in the concentration camps. There was love and compassion between other people. They were going through pain, but there was things happening that was good on the tiny thing. And no matter what happens, there's always good somewhere. No matter what's happening around you, there's always good somewhere. It's sometimes it's hard to find, but just be open to it. As long as we're not focusing on the shit and the terrible shit that's going around us, as long as we're focusing on being open to the goodness, life is good. Life will be good. Just because it might appear terrible doesn't mean we can't find, the beauty everywhere. The silver lining. Yes, yes, Chris. Yes. And again, I wasn't going to go this long, and I so happy to have so many people actually come and see this. And anyone who watches this later and lasts this long into it, thank you. I appreciate it. And if I got any benefit to you, or if you could, you know, share anything, I honestly, if anyone wants to thumb down this video, fine, good. Honestly, the more thumbs down, the better for me. That's the weird thing about, because this is my hobby. I'm going to end with this. Because this is my hobby, I get a kick out of some of my videos to get more thumbs down and thumbs up, because I want to know what triggered people thumbs down it. Because a lot of people just give the thumbs down and don't give any comment. And I get tickled. I just love the thumb. Love if YouTube would just allow everyone to see my aspect of thumbs down and thumbs up. They don't do that. I don't know. YouTube thinks they're trying to protect us tiny YouTubers. I don't think that's about at all. I think it's about the big corporations, not even about the creators. It's about NBC and the news. I think it's all about the news, honestly. That they want to hide those thumbs down, that people expressing themselves. But honestly, I think thumbs down teaches me more about what I need to focus on, because I think struggle and strife does help improve us. And if people want to thumbs down this video, I'm happy about it. If people want to critique me and rip me apart, um, not even don't, if people want to do not even positive uh, uh, critique, I'm happy because I think everything, even the most vile, angry uh, reaction, will teach me something because I want to learn. That's what my life is about learning. And oh yeah, I passed 500. Dan, I've passed 500 about 6 times in the past few weeks. Um, and it's I've gone to I there are some channels that do is it, grow together, and you join their channel, and then they join your channel, and everyone's happy. For me, whenever I did that, whenever I went with the thing about we we I would join people's channels, and then they would join my channel. I'd gain like 10 and I gained 5 people, but I would lose 10 people later because I think YouTube knows about this join for join, connection for connection, and they see it. They know what channels you're watching, and they know they're not watching because they're enjoying this. They're watching this to get more subscribers, and they hit you hard about that. So this 500 it actually is more genuine than the last few that I did because I have a thing about I do join for join. I do it not for my subscribers, but to help other people, and I want to learn from other people, and I'm doing it for a whole different reason than sub for sub. It's called sub for sub. I don't do sub for sub, but YouTube doesn't like that. I do sub for sub only because I want to learn different channels, and I want to see different channels, and I want to see different people expressing themselves so I can learn. But yeah, a lot of my growth is organic, and I appreciate everyone who joins my channel. I'm not here to make money. I'm here to just spread love and peace and compassion. And thank you for being here. I've gone far longer than I expected. There's still 12 people here, and I'm thankful for everyone who's here. Thank you for sharing yourselves. I'm going to read through the comments uh, once I finish this. Just you being here means a lot to me that I can learn from you, and hopefully you can learn from me, and we can learn from each other, and we can all grow together. And I mean, life sucks sometimes, but having other people that we can exchange these ideas and faith, favor, grace, prosperity, all these important things. And that's one thing I wanted to share that was very important for me to share. And I wanted to show, and I had it out, and and it was great, and I love it, and I don't know what I did with it. Ah, bugger. I love the angels, Ariel. I say every day, the soul tribe is prospering. I am prospering. We're all prospering together. Thank you, Ariel. Thank you, Payo. I say that every day, several times a day, and I have over my bed the sigils for Ariel, the sigils for Payo. I look at them. I say it 9 times. Sometimes I say it 6 times because oh, there it is. This is it. Boom. This is Payo. This is Payo. There you go. And this is Ariel. I'm reading it backwards. I can see through the paper. But I say this. This is above my bed. I these spirits, these angels. Whether you don't, if you're Christian, if you're uh, Catholic, the angels are not the Catholic angels. The angels are not the Christian angels. These are spiritual beings of higher ascent. It's nothing to do with religion. It's these are higher beings that you work with. You work with their energy. They're not physical beings, and I love them, and they're helping us ascend together. Um, the the thing about religion is there's a lot of great information in it. The Bible has a lot of great information, but the problem is the dogma. The dogma contradicts the teachings of the Christ. Let's go with Christ. I grew up Catholic. I did everything. I was confirmed. But a lot of the dogma of Catholicism contradicts the teachings of Christ. Christ was not about conversion. He was about teaching. And that's what there are some Christians who do subscribe. Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers was an adamant Christian. He was a, mm, and it doesn't matter. Mr. Rogers was a Christian. He was a strong Christian, but he never saw him trying to convert anyone. It was about just as Jesus taught to Christ, the Christ taught, compassion, about being good, but being a good person, being good to others. Mr. Rogers is a perfect example of true Christianity. It's not about conversion. It's not about changing. It's not about, saving. It's about being a good person and spreading that love. Didn't think I'd go to Mr. Rogers, but Mr. Rogers was a Christian. He was an added. He was a preacher. I don't know what he was, but Mr. Rogers. He was. I was reading of Mr. Rogers, and he was. He had a church. He would go to church and he would preach. But the children's show, he was teaching that Christ. He was doing the acts of Christ. Mr. Rogers is the perfect example of what a Christian should be. Where did I come with this one? But that's important that we learn always that that's what religion is. That's what religion should be. It's about teaching. It's not about the dogma. The dogma is garbage. We've got to throw it away. It's about the core teachings. The Buddha. The Buddhists had great teachings, but the Buddhist religion has a lot of dogma in it. And even Buddha said, if you see me during meditation, kill me, because he meant the teachings are what's important, not the image. Graven images. There's a man. I really am going far, but I'm going to try to finish with this. My wife is Thai Buddhist, so because I have an obsessive compulsive personality, I needed to learn everything about her religion, and I read, and I learned about a man Ajahn Chan. He was a monk. He was a forest minister, a forest monk. He was teaching Buddhism. And one thing about Thai is they wear these amulets. They have these graven images. They have these statues of Buddha. Ajahn Chan never preached that. He said that true Buddhism is about the teachings. The image of Buddha is not important. He was against it. And when you came to his forest ministry, when you came to be a monk with him, the images of Buddha were not allowed. It was about the teaching of Buddha, not the images of Buddha. And I joked with my wife and I said to my wife, "Oh, can I get an amulet for Ajahn Chan?" And she said that her sister was looking for it for me. I'm like, no, 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 you misunderstood. I was joking. If there are amulets for Ajahn Chan because he passed away a while ago. They're fake, and that's exactly what happened to Buddha, Jesus, and Muhammad. They wanted their teachings to go past them. They didn't want their image. Christianity should never be about the crucifixion of Christ, about the sacrifice of Christ. It should only be about the teachings of Christ, that he was going to go his way to help us, not his death, but his actions that were important. That's the problem with Christianity. That's the problem with Catholicism. It's not about following and being saved by Christ. It's about living as Christ. It's about living as Buddha. It's about living as Muhammad. It's not about converting anybody. It's about you doing it. It's not about what other people are doing. It's about what you are doing. And I really did go on a tangent. Thank you for all being here. I really appreciate you, every single one of you. Thank you, Pajo. Thank you all. I'm going to cut this off now. I've gone far longer than I was only going to go 15 minutes, and I went an hour and 15 minutes. I appreciate you all for being here. I really do. Thank you so much. And most importantly, what's next?